Want to bet? You can do it at Sports Interaction. It's Canada's sportsbook. Every hockey, football, and basketball game at your fingertips. And at the end of the week, World Cup, baby. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Bet pregame, live and play, or one of the many prop bets. Made for Canadians by Canadians. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. Go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Got it.
The San Jose Sharks would listen to offers on Erik Karlsson. Well, duh.
The CJ show was quite good with this show.
What did they say?
They basically, so obviously the Sharks would listen to calls on Erik Karlsson, who has not been worth his contract for quite some time, but he sure looks it right now. And what I have seen people saying is like, yes, it's obvious. Don't listen to anybody. They're just trying to generate whatever. CJ laid it out pretty convincingly that this is a genuine possibility. Now, the Sharks would need to retain.
Like half?
Potentially, but that's a lot of half. Like, how many years does he have left on his deal there, Jesse?
Till 2027, 4 years after this year.
Yeah, dude. Like, you can't retain $5 million bucks for 4 years. That's like you can't retain the Allmark contract.
You might as well have the guy.
Okay, yeah, but you don't hate maybe $3 million, and
you don't like it.
So you don't like it, but think about
for who?
If you retaining $3 million a season. Maybe you can't retain 5 or 5 and a half.
But if you're the other team, are you paying Erik Karlsson $7 million for 3 more years?
I mean,
4 more years?
I think he's worth that now. And if you're trying to win now, which any team acquiring him would be now or next year, Erik Karlsson at $8 million, 8.5, you don't hate that.
4 years.
I know, but you worry about year 3 and 4 later. You do. You have to. Like that's the only way any general manager can look at this.
How's his contract structured?
And you can always trade him away and retain half.
Man,
in terms of actual dollars.
So the remaining, so he's making $12 million this year. The remaining years are 11.5, 11, 9, 7.5.
Yeah,
so
it's still money.
It's still money, but it's way easier to stomach.
No. Not really. It's 11, 9, 7.
I also know that...
No, but retain, though.
We're also seeing that the NHL salary cap could go up this year by like $3 million, so that makes it a little easier. And then, as we said, 25, right before that lockout, it'll go up by like $10 million.
And another way you can offset it is by trading an expensive player at the end of their career who's got 1 year left or something like that.
Erik Karlsson's 32? 33?
32.
32.
Listen, if he can stay healthy, there's a like he has skills even with his diminished skating for a while. I don't even know how his skating is now, but he has skills that are otherworldly.
It's going forward. It's great.
Sure. So pair him with Jordy Ben, who solves all defensive issues. By the way, I'm not saying the Leafs get him. I'm saying that if you have a team that can't get the puck up on offense, has issues with the transition game, Erik Karlsson's your guy.
If I'm another team, I worry that I'm overrating a very hot start to the season.
An absurd.
But even if he regresses a little,
he's having the start that we all thought Cale Makar was going to have. Like,
yeah, or Adam Fox.
28 points in 19 games with 11 goals.
What if we get to 60 games in and Erik Karlsson is Erik Karlsson of last year?
He still had 35 points in 50 games with 10 goals.
He did, but he couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay in the lineup.
No, but it would need to be a complicated deal, and it's not one where the Sharks are going to get an abundance of assets. Let's be honest. Like you got
to trade for the cap space, so you can.
We're looking for somebody to take this off our hands, kind of deal.
Another thing CJ alluded to was like a potential Jonathan Taves trade at the deadline, a Patrick Kane trade at the deadline.
Toronto.
He did allude to that. This is not that. This is a guy with an even higher cap hit than those guys, like significantly higher, for more years with, frankly, more injury questions than either of those guys either. Maybe not Taves. The Sharks aren't going to get anything.
I agree, but I think the Sharks do have to make this move, and they do have to retain, and they have to figure out what that number is, because you're not going to be able to move Marc-Edouard Vlasic. That contract goes on forever, and he's already he's beyond a point where retaining him at 50% would make sense for a team. It's not because he's not an NHL player. It's because he makes way too damn much, and it goes on for too long.
That one ends
$7 million for 3 more seasons after the season.
You can't.
And what's his contract?
How old is he too?
Older.
35.
He's 30. So he's 35. Even if you get him at $3.5 million, you just don't know.
Here, how much money does he have left? Because I think if it's not that high amount, I think he's going to get LTIR.
7.25.
Oh man, that contract
7 and
stinks. Yeah, it doesn't even go down until the last year, really. Oh boy, that contract stinks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good case. You make a good point about LTIR. Just to take it off the cap books at least.
Well, he's not retiring.
No, never. Because then he's giving up tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, so that was the whole reason that we kind of had a lockout in 2013, or part of it anyway, is teams were like, all right, we're going to give you 4 years at the end of your contract where you make $1 million, wink, wink, and you'll just retire.
Yeah.
No. That's impossible now.
Do you remember when Chris Pronger was the Department of Player Safety guy and he was still being paid an NHL contract because it was still going?
Yes.
And he was like, you're suspended. Also, I'm technically a player.
Yes.
It was fucking stupid.
You know how many guys...
Stupid.
But everybody, let's keep the hard cap.
Yep.
That's the one rule we need to follow.
Alan? Hello? Alan?
Stop it. I did that before, Alan. Okay.
Did you borrow this outfit from Alan?
I did not borrow this outfit from Alan.
You know what I love?
Alan is a fan of no team. He's a fan of players.
How many Devils clients does he have?
That's a good question. I know he's got...
Okay, are there Czech players on the Devils? You got it. Anyone who's watched this episode from the beginning is going to get it. Anyone who's only watching a clip is going to be like, what the fuck is Adam wearing?